my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
Hey, g'day everybody. Welcome to the happy hour on the Friday. Hey, Base Radian. Good to see you, man.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, going pretty good.
Great.
Thought we'd smash a quick one out. Don't have much time tonight, but
yeah, you get the social pressure, right? To get the release.
No, it's good. Always good to do a bit of a recap and do this. So Dozza's not always here. He does the fortnightly stream with us, and try and carry one on if we can. So we might have Mayo jumping on, and if anyone else wants to come in today, I've put the link in the comments. So it's can be a bit of a weary one, but if you want to jump on, feel free. We'd love to have you on here. Like we said before, as long as you come on and you're wearing clothes, we're pretty sweet. Should be fine.
Yeah, there's not a lot of rules, but there are some.
That's it. I've heard of a few times people have been added to the stream back in the day, and some interesting stuff was happening.
Yeah, some of those those more party streams got a little wild.
That's it. No. And that's what happens when prices are going up and things are looking good, isn't it? People get a bit excited.
The euphoria.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Hey, I thought I'd start by we'll start off with the not so great stuff, I guess, which is, where are we? Current prices, I guess. In the past 7 days since we were on last week, we're going a bit backwards, taking a bit of a break from the old climb, but that's all right. PLS down 15%, PulseX down 15%. They're all 10 to 15% down. So bargain prices. You can see Hex and Inc have dropped the most, which is what everyone knows. They're the lowest liquidity, and so more than likely, bigger dumps and hopefully bigger pumps. So I'm looking forward to when they come back. It's going to be some good times. Mayo's just come back. Hey Mayo, what's happening, man?
Hey, good evening, people.
No, very good. Thanks for joining us. Loving that jumper, as I said in the green room. Bliss and Esso all the way. So good, man.
It relates because the new album's called Fly to the Moon.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
Hence it's relevant.
Yeah. No, it's so good.
My new background with some green candles and a bit of mayo there.
Oh yeah, some of the green candles.
Love the mayo. That is killer. So good. And Base Radian, you got something to show off as well.
Yeah, I got this, so I need to fix my where are we? This one. The camera's flipped, so it's the wrong way around, I think. But
no, it's good.
It's all good. Okay, sweet.
No, good stuff. That looks great.
That looks good.
You bang that out on
really clean
on a CNC or something.
Yes. Yeah.
So no, I love it. I saw some talk in the chat.
In the Aussie Day chat
going or something like that. That'd be brilliant. I actually thought when Gina mentioned that, having some, like, obviously you can't do wooden ones just to leave in pubs and stuff, but if we got some hex ones printed and at a reasonable price, you could pretty much just flood places with them.
in
the market,
all sorts of stuff.
Exactly.
The drink coasters are handy, and
that's
there's other things. There's tons of other things.
Yeah,
but like
people like to collect them as well, and quite often people pocket them, take them home if they're a good looking one. And the hex logo, we got to admit, like, hex looks sick.
It's a good one, and like the geometry of it all, right? The area of the hexagon is at a ratio of like 369, right?
Yeah,
which is like stimulating the compound interest of it all, and
exactly,
it's very clever. Actually, I've spent a long time thinking about it the last couple of days, and it's very clever what he's done with the logo.
Yeah, someone that doesn't like numerology bases all of everything around that sort of thing, and that's right. It's just amazing when you find how that's
I got a dog barking
so much. No, that's all right. Mayo's dog will start
painting. Mine have both gone. They've been stuck inside all day with the rain, so they're going loopy. Haven't brought them out.
It's the rain.
That's gold. Here's me talking about your jumper, and I've got the Bliss and Esso hat on at the same time. So there we go.
Look at that. I'm missing out.
Yep. You got to get with the times. Man.
If you actually, I don't think a lot of people have clicked to it, but a lot of their lyrics have some pretty deep and meaningful stuff behind it, which is sort of what gets my attention.
Absolutely. A lot of their older stuff was quite hilarious as well. Flowers in the Pavement album and all that good stuff. But they've definitely, they're lyrical geniuses, as they even say. So I really, really like their stuff. So good. But what else has been happening crypto wise? I've sort of just been, not so with it as much this week. But I know the Bitcoin conference was on. Prices went backwards for that, but there's some weird stuff going on there with Michael Saylor, like sort of keeping his addresses private and not wanting to show proof of holdings in a way, which I find a bit strange. Have you guys heard about that?
No, I don't know the story, but go on.
Just they've asked him for proof of address, ownership in a way of his reserves.
Who's they? Like, who's accusing Michael Saylor?
So he was on stage, and I don't know who it was. And someone asked him, they stood up and asked, and he's like,
I can see the incentive. I can see why he wanted to keep it private. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, but he was saying it in the way of security.
But he should kind of do proof of reserve for investors. I think that is like a fiduciary duty. I don't know. I'm not an expert,
but on the blockchain, right? If you were to give someone a wallet address, that doesn't change the security, really. You're not giving out any private stuff.
Well, you still have like the transaction history and stuff, but
true. Yeah. That's true. I mean,
but not as a physical person. Like, if he's worried about someone seeing how much money he has, it's like everyone knows if they're going to come after him, they're going to come after him regardless of the public address or not.
Yeah. And that's what I think. True. The other side is that his type of thing, like if you think about the OA, I know that we know the major OA addresses, but there's all those daughter addresses and whatnot with Hex. That there's like hundreds or thousands of them. But it's a bit different because the proof of reserves, I guess, with this Bitcoin, they're setting up for more of a, I don't know, what do you call it? Like financial system for, the mainstream people, and they need and he's set up, all these foundations
it's
and
an
stuff.
Interface between Bitcoin and the standard traditional legacy.
Exactly. Yeah. More legacy. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a bit weird, but it's all cool.
Yeah.
Well,
that's interesting.
Yeah, hopefully it means it's all still there, because at the end of the day, if something weird happens there, that would be like probably as big as, you know, anything we've seen in crypto.
You know what? I'm not worried about Michael Saylor, because I feel like he's generally got the right interest in mind, right? But I don't know what the code word for it is, but like a black pebble, right?
Yeah.
That's who I'm worried about. Like with the ETFs and stuff, and the way things are happening off chain, and there's liquidity that I have no idea if it really exists, and they're just kind of that gives me big sus vibes.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we'll see what happens, eh? I mean, it could all get pretty dodgy at one stage. You know, nobody wanted mainstream or legacy to come in and start buying up, and now everyone's cheering them on.
I think a fun fact is that Blackstone has more, like, all the, if you sum all the ETFs, they now hold more than Satoshi Nakamoto does as a single person. So they got a lot. They got a lot.
They do have a lot. Yep, they got a lot of control there.
If you sum all of them, all the ETF related funds. So that's an interesting fact.
Yeah, I haven't looked at those numbers, but you'd think it would be up there, because they're coming in. Coming in hot. That's for sure.
Last time I checked, anyway, it could be more now. I don't know. Maybe they sold. Who knows?
Yep. And if we don't know their addresses, we don't know. So
that's right. And if anyone's going to keep their address a secret, I tell you what.
That's exactly right. Yep. We got Red Squirrel always up there in the early on, coming in there. Oi. Thanks for joining us, man. Give us some alpha on Tetra. What's happening there? You're the Tetra man, and everyone's had hype on them, and seems like it's just still work in progress, isn't it? Another 2 weeks or something like that. Ash, hey mate, thanks for joining in. Great timing. Yeah, we're a bit later today. I wasn't able to get on as soon, but glad it worked out well for you. John with the Kangas, what's up? And Blobfish King, what's up, man? Yeah, thanks for coming in. Yeah, we've got not a whole heap watching at the moment. We've got a big number 12 at the moment. So where's need someone to like and retweet. That'd be great.
Share it out. Share out.
What's your thoughts? I think the hot topic. Well, I haven't been too involved in Twitter this week, or X, whatever, crypto X, with everything going on. I think Rackham's probably a bit of a hot topic at the moment. What do you reckon?
Yeah, indeed. It's one of those topics where, like, I don't know, you know, we all know what you know, people are assuming, or wallets that they see that they're calling his wallets, but I don't know how truth, you know, if they actually are his wallets, you know, if he's being truthful about, he's saying he's never going to sell, and, you know, all these sorts of things, and then there's sells on wallets that are attached to him. I don't know. He's saying he's been through a lot, which, you know, we don't need to know everyone's private lives. But yeah, it's all a bit interesting. What's your take, Mayo, and do you want to talk about it a bit?
I don't know. I just thought I'd bring it up because it's popping up everywhere on my feed.
Yeah.
I suppose it's probably you either love him or you hate him. But yeah, like you said, like, where's the evidence behind each accusation or whatever it might be, and what's the theory with the documentary guys, like, potential there of talking about a new movie or a second movie or something like that with him funding it? I don't know. I've only seen bits and bobs over the last week, but yeah, if anyone has any more info, if anything's coming through.
This is all news to me.
So,
so there's a new movie coming out?
Well,
maybe in production or something.
Just hearsay that they're talking about some things being released.
Yeah, well, the highest of stakes guys are talking about it a lot. Rackham is pretty much confirming that there will be, but by the sounds of it, there was some sort of agreement where if he put the money up for the first one, that he had with, like, he had an agreement with them that he could come back as, and have a lot more on-screen time, and maybe from a different angle on the second movie. So I'm not sure what that all means, but I do find it a bit.
I can see that, because it wasn't like the first movie kind of did try to show all sides, whereas like it still puts him in like an okay, like he has the ability to defend himself in any light, but you know, it's a good movie though. Like I still like, it's classic as a HEXican anyway.
I really enjoyed it. I think it doesn't age well for the time we're in now, like May 2025. Where the prices are at. In the next bull run, or you know, in 5 years, it might age really well. And a new one would be great, especially with, you know, victory on Richard's behalf. And if we get through this,
if they did the court case, imagine if they were filming for that. That would be awesome. That would be epic.
Stuff like that. Would be cool.
Well, fingers crossed that there's things happening behind the scenes that we don't know about until all this gets tied up, you know, and then boom, it all comes out. And wouldn't that be really amazing? Pretty much I told you so movie.
I no doubt there's lots of things happening in the background, especially on RH's side, you know, waiting for this Interpol stuff to go through, which I'm sure they're working on, you know, and it could just be waiting for the right timing.
Like a PR tear down of someone who has gained power somehow.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
no, that's right. Exactly.
The powers that be. Get out of town.
People always want to take down someone that's doing really well or is about to do really well. And
it's always the person that's like one above them too. They're like one above them in the power structure, and it's like, keep you down.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Red Squirrel saying that the highest stakes was embarrassing. Yeah, look, I can see that angle. I thought it was, being in the community, I thought it was good. And if you're sitting with someone, you know, if you're bringing on boards to watch it or talk about it, then I think it's pretty cool. From an outside perspective, the huge run up of price and all of that in the movie is great. But then if they check the charts now, you know, it's not so good, because I'd see old mate still down that, you know, liquidated his house for
that one's brutal. That, you know, the mortgage. That's rough. That's
what the general community out there doesn't know is that he had bags of PulseX, you know, he sacrificed you know, Hex for it, so he's probably still doing all right, but they had to have that bad look in it as well. So it's interesting. I've pulled up this video of Rackham that the highest of stakes put up. Let's watch it together, because I don't know what it's all about. A sec, I'll fire this up. I saw it come up during the week.
Enough that it was inevitable that he was going to. I think he knew enough that it was inevitable that he was going to launch his own network. He needed to. There's just not enough people doing it right. There's not enough people warning their communities against potential rug pulls. Step out, go to YouTube, and look for other network founders warning their community. Doesn't exist. And he's made prediction after prediction after prediction that, to his credit, have come true. Stop robbing him of his credit. He did it. He earned it. I'm gonna, here, Rich, I'm gonna stroke your ego. You did it. Go you. Now get to work. Yeah, he earned it. So yeah. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to fly off the handle like that on camera. Sorry, man. Just kidding, Rich. Don't block me. Again.
There we go.
That's actually pretty funny.
See that there, I think is
so real though. It's so real.
Yeah, that feels real to me. I know some people will come down on me and say, "Nah, he's a scat. You know, Rackham's not a good player and all that." But those words there were pretty good. If there's more of that in a movie, and if that's his take, and he does have that much respect for Richard in that way, then that's brilliant. And
yeah,
you know, just because he has massive bags, good on him. Like, I wish I had bigger bags as him.
Merit and
when I run
free
cash.
market economy.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta aim up, like.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're all in this. It's like player versus player at the end of the day, and yeah, good on him for taking risks and getting where he did. However he did it. So,
well, he recognized the potential early on, right? And he recognized that and put money in that bet.
Yep, no, 100%. No, I agree with that. But yeah, all the other stuff, about him and behind the scenes, I don't know enough about, so I can't, join the bandwagon of coming down on him. But I'm not like that. I don't do that unless I actually have the facts in front of me. I give someone the benefit of the doubt. So, yes.
Yeah, there's no need for it anyway. Like, let everyone just do their thing. Everyone's got to do their own thing. Everyone's out here grinding away. Everyone's got their own life.
Yeah.
Work 100%. Well, ideally, it'd be better to work together than all slander on each other, wouldn't it?
Right? Because we're all on the same team. We're all invested and all have stakes in the game.
That's exactly right. All of the truth that Richard's, spoken, exposed things, preempted things happening. I, can confidently sit here and think that there's going to be a lot of benevolent, positive things happen, and that he's sort of, got everything lined up nicely for the future. But I can see how, people are losing patience on that side, watching, Bitcoin pump past its all-time high, and Hex is still down here low. So I get it, but yeah, I have a bit more patience than others too. So, but yeah, on that whole thing of Richard doing good and, spreading the good word and warning people. This is a good one that T-Bird shared during the week.
Hex solves all these problems, please. But if you're not going to use Hex, then at least deploy some of the intelligent designs that we champion. You should not have admin keys. Why? Why would you have admin keys? How many times do you need to see hundreds of millions of dollars stolen before you figure it out? Matic has admin keys. How much money is in Matic? Billions of dollars waiting to be jacked. Stop. Let me save you, please. Insane. So Peter McCormick calls me a scammer, gets all his followers wrecked. Box Mining calls me a scammer, gets all his followers wrecked, and gets wrecked himself. At what point are people going to realize that I have the answers to their problems? I do. And I tell them to you for free, and you need only let the information into your brain. You got money on Celsius? Pull it. You got money on BlockFi? Pull it. You got money on exchanges? Pull it. Not your keys, not your coins. You got money and stuff with admin keys? Pull it. Save yourself, man. You don't have to be part of these headlines.
Once again,
so
real.
Yeah.
So real.
All those things have come true.
Again and again. And again. Repeatedly. Like you just like he speaks from experience, right? I'm like, maybe he'd lost money on an exchange at one point. Like, you don't know. Yeah. But geez, like he's learned.
Exactly. And yeah, all you need to do is let that information in. Like, I love that. It's like,
let it in.
Right
there.
into
your life.
Yeah, exactly. So Richard, if you're listening, just make sure that, one day we can do all right and this thing holds together, because you don't want to, we don't want him joining any of that talk. But yeah, man, he's done so well with all those predictions. Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
And he's been doing it a long time too, right? Before Hex, he was making Bitcoin predictions that you could have made money on. Like, he knows that.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I definitely agree there. There was just punching through some other stuff. Hex Scout put up that they've got a new on-ramp there on hexscout.com/buy. It's no KYC. My only the weird part about that is it's only up to $85. It's like, okay.
So you do like $184.
Yeah. Or is that, I don't know what restrictions on that, like for,
Yeah, that'd be interesting actually.
Per card or no doubt it wouldn't be a great price either. Once you've gone through.
Yeah, that's how they work though.
So maybe as onboarding, it's good. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think that most of the best ways to get enough money on is to KYC.
Yes.
Get big funds
off as well.
Yeah, exactly. Unless I know in some countries, there's good ways to offboard and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely, it's good to see new on-ramps happening. And I know Internet Money's doing a big update soon as well. So
nice.
They've KG's been putting in the work, and we've been waiting on an update. I think they're going to make it a bit more user friendly on the interface, like MetaMask, how it pops up straight out as an extension rather than changing to another screen. And incorporating a browser, I think that's part of it. A browser, right into it. So yeah, should be pretty amazing. I already love that wallet. We mentioned it a few times, and we had KG on, but it's super easy and smooth, and you can do your the change function straight from Ethereum to PulseChain rather than bridging, which is pretty awesome as well. Once again, it's not for huge amounts, but it's still, I think it's about $500 worth US roughly, I think is about the maximum at a time. But yeah, still pretty good.
I just shared your post there. I've seen, I think Super Hex shared it. Lamborghini doubling down on hexagons.
Oh, are they? Look out.
Yeah.
It's, where are we?
Man, I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's just, what's the term for, I can't remember the term for it, but when you're into something and you just see it everywhere?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Is that like recency bias or something like that?
Yeah, some term for it. Man, everywhere I go, I just see hexagons, man. Like every company logo I see these days, I go to different sites, different jobs, home, like every different trade. I've all got hexagons in their logo. It's just, is that a coincidence?
Yeah,
it's a good shape.
There are hexagons everywhere. I actually went when I was in Melbourne, staying there for a little while. Sammy Chica and I went out for lunch, and we went to this pub. I had no idea. We were just like, we'll meet at this pub, go there and sit down, and the menu has a hexagon like embedded into the front of the menu, and it's like, what the heck? Like, how does that happen?
Planned it.
So yeah, they are absolutely everywhere. It's crazy.
Actually, you know what? Something else I've seen. I don't know if this was this week. It must have been miles away. There's been a couple of what's the term? I can't remember the term now. Mind blanks on everything here. The term when you get physically robbed for your crypto.
Like wrench attack.
Wrench attack. That's it.
Wrench attack. Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a couple of them popping up lately. In the States. Yeah. So I suppose I'm trying to find one somewhere here. But
that dude. There was some poor guy got absolutely robbed.
There's been a few, so friendly reminder to keep your security up and don't
always
go bragging.
You're always broke. Just pretend you were broke. Like
that's
the best advice you can give.
Yeah.
Never brag. Yeah.
And don't go streaming. Don't go streaming with your face on camera talking about crypto or
probably don't do what we're doing.
No.
Yeah. I just enjoy researching it. That's all I'm all about. So I use that $85 option to buy occasionally. So no one's going to have much on me. That's
it. That's it.
Yeah. Did you guys see that Elon walked away from the Doge thing this week?
Yeah, I've heard mixed things about that.
What happened?
So a lot of people are speculating that there's a bit of a falling out, but on the other hand, I believe I read something somewhere where there's a 130-day cap on special services, and these times come to an end. So I just need to clarify which one of those it is.
He started it with the intention of it being finished, like there being a complete state. Now, I don't think that has really been achieved, but there was like an idea of this will be done and it won't be long.
Yeah, I didn't think it would have been this short of a term, but I would understand if there is something like that, like it is a special role and he's not really part of the government. But yeah, I thought, because I've been following this Doge tracker, and for some reason I thought in my head that it was going to be, once they reach that 2 trillion, that was his, that was what he was there to help with. And we're nowhere near it, but maybe that is right, Mayo. There was a time limit there or something. But I think he also wasn't too happy with the way, something's happened in there with the budget deficit. They've sort of come in and just made some changes, which sort of goes against the whole progress of Doge. So I think it was about that point where he decided to leave, but I'm not sure, if there was more reasons to that or just that, that main reason there. So we'll have to look into that a bit more.
So even with him leaving, though, I think isn't Doge it's still there, like it's still operated by, so it's, in theory, as long as it doesn't become corrupt like everything else, it should still be doing its thing.
That's right. I did like the idea of him overlooking it, but I know, he's got so much other stuff going on as well, and he wouldn't have been getting paid to do that. That would have, been a bit silly, a bit hypocritical. But yeah, anyway, I'll look into it a bit more, and if anyone else knows in the chat some legitimate reasons why that's all stopped, that'd be nice to know. But yeah, the other thing was that Trump, with the tariffs, there was a bit of an issue there, which I think, could possibly be why the market's a bit, hesitating a little bit, the past few days, because basically he went in hard with all those tariffs, but apparently he actually didn't have permission or like jurisdiction to just go in and make those moves. That there was actually, another part of government that needs to agree with that. I think it's through Congress. So he's had to rope them back in, which is all a bit weird as well. It's like he came out all gung-ho, with everyone cheering him on, and now it's all sort of, had to pull back a bit. So I reckon that could be part of the reason why the market's just sort of chilling at the moment.
Yeah. To get off topic, back to the last topic, it looks like Elon Musk is going to, like, whatever he's done or whatever research he's performed will become like laws, and that hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So
okay.
It looks like that's what will happen with that.
Interesting. Righto.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, that's from what I can glean from X anyway.
Very nice. No, thank you.
Yeah.
That's cool. Lucky Luke 369, 3 more weeks, then it's alt season. Man, if you're
alt season.
If you're right, let's go.
It'd be great if it was next month at the start of our financial year, not the end of it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That would be nice. Give us till early July, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. Yeah, it seems like everything's sort of waiting for a big bounce. I was trying to get the ETH BTC chart. I had it ready, but now it's not playing nice. Pardon the mouse clicks for a sec. Yeah, Doz is not going to like this TA, but I'm not going to do any. I'll just show you the chart.
TA is not my thing.
No, just the way Ethereum's been sitting there sort of in that sort of range, but slightly moving up, I guess, is looking good. And I think, it could break either way, and it looks like it's sort of in like a compression where it could just blow out. So hopefully it goes to the upside. And it'll carry a lot of things with it. So we really need that to turn around, for things to start booming. And it seems, where are we? I had the ETH BTC as well. It seems with that, the ETH BTC, that, that's looking quite nice as well. See what happens. Hey guys, I'm new here, by the way. Hang on a sec.
It's like I replied to Tangent the other day. Do you even crypto, bro?
Yeah, that's right. Look, I just think, starting to see a bit of a reversal on the ETH BTC is great, and if we can get Ethereum to pop out and keep going up, then Lucky Luke could be right. We could be seeing alt season soon. So let's bring it on and keep those good vibes going.
I saw a bit of FUD earlier today, actually, and it was, I don't know what the profile was, but it was basically FUDding PulseChain that we're gonna, what was it? Basically go down that way against Ethereum. I thought, to me, that's a good signal.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Well, it was only what? Where's that Ethereum chart? It was like right around that section there where everyone was saying, I think Ethereum's dead and it's never going to come back and it's all over. And then it's just like, boom, straight out. It's like, that's a sentiment thing for sure, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'd be nice to hear a few more of those bottom signals. Definitely.
Something else which I thought was very interesting is how, well, I've shared a couple of things this week, and how our Senator Rennick's got a bit of spotlight on talking crypto and Bitcoin.
Oh, righto.
And then also Conor McGregor has been making a bit of noise in regards to crypto.
Oh, has he? Yeah, right.
Yeah. I shared one of the links there in private chat.
Okay.
Probably both, actually. No, one. But yeah, it's definitely some big names starting to get back into it and get on the bandwagon and talking about it, which is probably a good sign.
Yeah, well, that's epic. If that's the case, I can't find that. Where's the Conor McGregor? Oh, yeah. I'll try and bring that up quickly.
He's a loose unit, isn't he? But
isn't he running for like
feats?
Prime Minister or President?
He's doing all sorts of things, but he's making a lot of noise, that's for sure.
Yeah. Good on him.
Yeah. So using crypto, he plans on establishing a decentralized blueprint for sovereignty, one that others can also adopt to reclaim their nations. I will help to save Ireland. The world is watching. It's time for real change. Fair enough. Hopefully that's not just for engagement and yeah, makes things like that happen. That'd be bloody amazing. But yeah, go Ireland. Heard it's not a bad place to visit. They do a bit of cool motorsport over there that I'm into as well.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, very cool. Did you guys hear that RH Max is doing another conference? He's doing a PulseX conference, I think in July or something. So he's just like yes. So just X? I guess based around PulseX rather than the last one, PulseChain, and it included Hex. But yeah, I've seen him just pumping out crazy amounts of work lately, which is really good and putting us to shame a bit. There was a video which I'll have to find again of on What the Hex. They did quite a funny take actually. Finbear was on there this morning, which I don't know if you guys know Finbear well, but he's quite hilarious. And yeah, his tone, he should do voiceovers, like his voice and his sarcasm and all that is just hilarious. But I'll play this clip. Don't mind the picture they've got up. They're talking about fasting. So the picture is completely irrelevant to what Finbear is about to say about RH Max. Shout out to him.
Shout out to RH Max. He will be doing a stream about it. And he also just announced the PulseX conference for
again.
Yes, that was PulseChain. Now is PulseX conference for July.
Can we tone it down a little? Let's make a conference every week.
I don't know. It's like Max. I'm getting worried if has Max found methamphetamine or something? Do you have problems sleeping? Max,
I guess so.
We can
putting in that work. But guys, you can apply
You're
to be a
making
speaker.
everybody else look really bad. Like you're that
Crypto
guy
7, get on it.
You're like that guy who just got married and you're still bringing pastries to your missus from work and stuff. And you're making everybody else look like crap because we
you're too good.
We're like old school and we eat our shit in the way home in the car.
There's a crack.
Oh gosh, I thought that was a good one. No, he's a hilarious guy. But yeah, RH Max is definitely putting in the work. And I remember when we did our Hex PulseChain meetup in Sydney, he hosted a live stream so we could come on as well. So that was all very fun, good stuff. But yeah, shout out to What the Hex. They give us a shout out every week, which is great, and they sort of look at us as like a sister program, you know, over in Australia doing the once a week because they used to share the Discourse Syndicate. So
yeah, back in the day.
I've done a fair few with them, I'll have to jump back on there if I'm up late enough one night, catch up with them.
Yeah, that would be so good.
Yeah,
it's normally on about 5-6 a.m.
Our time.
Yeah, our time. So yeah, probably a bit better for Base Radian for his sort of time. But yeah,
it's always a winner because I'm living like in an earlier on in the day.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you guys can be later, and you're like, I got to go to bed, and I'm like, I'm ready to keep going.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So good. I had one more little video here that was about guys laying heat on Richard Hart again. You've probably seen this already, but I'll fire him up,
etc. So that's not great. On the other hand,
hang on a sec. And we are live.
Them dropping, lawsuits against fucking Kraken and Coinbase and Uniswap is very good. Now, maybe they went too far. You see like Richard Hart celebrating his victory against the SEC as if he's like the Messiah. This guy's, he's something else. So, I think net is still good.
What the heck is that comment? Like celebrating, like they took it a bit too far. It's like what they took. Hey Ross,
he's
envious.
Hey Ross.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know if you saw that clip just then, Ross, but they're these guys putting heat on the fact that Richard Hart won against the SEC and like saying that he shouldn't be doing victory laps.
He wasn't even gloating. He's just like, hey, we won.
It's like we actually won. We beat them. It didn't just get dismissed.
The optimal outcome happened.
Yeah, and like who else has done that? So these guys are saying, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, stop whinging about it, and maybe you should just buy some PulseChain or something because otherwise you're going to miss the boat. You know what I mean? Like, oh gosh,
sounds like sour grapes to me. Yeah, it's just. I think anyone in Richard's situation would do the same, wouldn't they?
Yeah. No, exactly. And he actually, he's not really doing that
outrage
runaround. He was just basically posting about it as it's great news sort of thing. So yeah, like he used to and whatever, just stating the facts. So yes, it's very interesting how everyone's a bit sour, but that's all right. That's all right.
I think it's a positive sign. It's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it means you're still early.
It means you're doing it right.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Ross, what's been happening with you?
Oh, well, all sorts of stuff. I got my new Public Enemy t-shirt, or top, whatever you want to call it. So,
nice.
Yeah, rap group from the 80s and 90s. And, they're kind of political activist rap group, I think. That's not my kind of style, but I just like the logo. I just think the logo is great. So I thought I'll order it from the US and have something that no one else has got, right?
Yep, that's killer. Yep, very nice. Let's go. Yep, some of those tops, you can wear some, and it's like, oh, am I pushing the limits a bit? Like you can get away with that because there's something else behind it. But yeah, you see some other ones that say some interesting stuff. It's like, oh,
yeah,
you might
that's right.
Hurt someone's the wrong person's feelings.
Yeah, I'm probably pushing the boundaries a bit, but you know, it's cool, it's unique. No one else can get this locally where I am, so you know, it's just a bit of fun. But what else? Well, the Sui hack. Have you guys discussed that? That happened. Was that just over a week ago? Was it? That got all interesting.
We spoke about a little bit last week, I think, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit of chat about that, but
actually, sorry.
Oh yeah,
you've reminded me. We were talking about that in regards to how Sui just froze the funds. I saw something just earlier actually where some USDC funds got frozen. So again, reminder that stables are not. Are not safe.
Yeah, and that brings back the importance of decentralized stable coins, doesn't it? And
no admin keys.
No, exactly that video. Should I play that video again from Richard?
Play it again. Run it back. No admin keys.
Yeah. Like
rinse and repeat. Well, it's embedded in your brain.
Yeah. If you're sitting in stables like that, or those those pools with mega stables, it's just waiting for something to go wrong, isn't it, Ross?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wasn't aware of this stables. I'll have to have a look at that. But certainly with Sui, it got it was a massive clash on X platform. You know, is it centralized? Is it decentralized? Is it? I mean, it gets interesting, and it did get me thinking somewhat that, you know, you could say that decentralization is a spectrum, right? Where, you know, one node is clearly centralized and 120,000 is decentralized in very, very simple terms. It gets deeper than that. It's not just a number of nodes, but you know, there is this kind of spectrum.
It's not far from it.
Not far, now Sui has about 120 validators, which isn't really that many. Now, I suppose you could say that one of the good things about it is, should there be a hack or a problem, well, for 120 validators to come to some kind of consensus, because apparently they did have a vote, then that can be done quite swiftly.
My only thought with the vote is, if these validators are run by a smaller amount of people, separate validators, you know,
like 10 validators per machine.
Isn't that a bit dodgy? Like it's not really decentralized, or it's not a legitimate vote, in my opinion.
Particularly
it's just,
if they're all the same owner.
Yeah,
if it's all the block organizations. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm not saying.
That's exactly correct. I mean, if you've got 120 validators all under one entity, then essentially you're completely centralized, right? That's why I said it's not exactly the number of validators. I was simplifying things somewhat. But if it's 120 independent validators, which is what I've heard, but I haven't dug deep to cross-reference and check that. But what I've heard is it is 120 independent validators, and they did come to a vote. Having said that, 120 still isn't that many, right? So, you know, in terms of attacks and bribery and collusion, you only need about 61 validators to sort of collude together, which is not that many. You know, 61 validators isn't exactly, you know, you don't go, oh my God, that's impossible, do you? Now, if you
and you can bribe them all. If you had enough funds, you could bribe 61. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have all their addresses.
That's right. So I suppose it's one of those things, right? Like, let's be honest, right? If a blockchain or an app on a blockchain, like a DEX in the Sui case, did get compromised and millions of funds were draining, well, then it's, you know, what would any blockchain project do? Would they say, we're going to let it drain in the name of decentralization, and we're just going to keep letting more millions of dollars drain out? Or are we actually going to act? I mean, it's an interesting open question, right? It does get you thinking a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So for a numbers comparison, I'm pretty sure you're pretty close there. I saw something in the hundreds as well for Sui. And now let's just talk PulseChain validators.
Yeah.
I'm looking here. I'm not sure if this number is correct and up to date, but I'm looking at 50,000 roughly validators that are active PulseChain.
Yeah.
So that's just do the math and work out the numbers yourself. That's the difference.
Absolutely, and that's where I'm talking about. Decentralization is a spectrum, right? So if you've got 50,000 validators, and I don't know how many are independent, but let's just keep things really simple. You got 50,000. That's the real decentralized end of the spectrum. You got 120. Well, it's kind of getting closer to the centralized end of the spectrum, isn't it? And if you got one, well, that's clearly centralized. So I think there is a bit of a spectrum, but yeah, I can see some of the arguments, but certainly if you've got 50,000 validators, then there almost is no argument. In simple terms, there's no argument, right? Once you've got that many.
What's the requirement to be a SUI validator? How many SUI tokens, or what sort of dollar value is it? Do you know what that is?
Very good question. Yeah, I don't actually know in Sui's case. That's something I can look into. I mean, I don't know if anyone knows, but I did enough research into Sui to, see a few things to put me off. So I'm not saying, I think the tech is pretty good, but it's not astoundingly different to the point where I'd go, like let's say BitTensor, extremely different. Bang, yeah, I'll buy, right? Sato, extremely different, very unique. I'll buy. PulseChain, very different because it's got extremely unique game theory. Buy. Yeah. With Sui, it's kind of in the same
30 million
basket
Sui
for me
to be a validator.
Yeah.
30 million Sui to be a validator.
Whoa, yeah, that's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like millions, isn't
it? Yeah. And for me, Sui is in the same basket as most of the other chains, your Cardanos, and yet they're all kind of in the same basket trying to compete for scalability. And one thing that did put me off about Sui, and I could go deeper into it, not on this stream, but another time, is that they have this concept of consensus-less transactions, where simple transactions don't go through full consensus. They still get validated. Okay. But they don't go through full consensus, and that's in the name of scalability. Well, I don't know about that. I started looking into that, and I found a few things that I raised questions, and I thought, and I didn't get answers. And that's when I thought, that's enough red flag for me to go, I'm not convinced by that. I don't love the idea of that. So, yeah
sounds like exactly. And I mean, I know Sui, is a big sort of VC chain. There's plenty of big dollars.
It looks like it. That the more I look into it,
those things where if you like roll the dice and you want to make an investment, you could get mad gains out of it. But if you're in it for the decentralization, and people have different values, don't they? And some of the VCs, they want the comfort of being able to have admin keys and make these changes, but they're not that. Their heart isn't in it for those other reasons that people see valuable. So yes, and if it's like multi-million dollars or something to be a validator, that makes me think that that's fairly centralized because it's a few people with big dollars and big power having control, which is quite scary. But it's. I'm not saying you can't make mad gains on it, but it's.
Yeah, I mean, there is a key word here, and it's openness, right? Openness and non-excludability, right? So there's always, everyone's talking about decentralization. It's a bit of a buzzword, to be honest, right? They're using it and misusing it in ways to suit them. But really, it's all about openness, right? Is the network open for anyone to join? Well, if you've got to put, hundreds of thousands of dollars on to stake for a validator, that's not an open, non-excludable network, right? That's something I have an issue with, and I have an issue with Ethereum for that reason. But in many other blockchains, they have it's essentially open and non-excludable, right? And I see PulseChain as one of those. I see many other chains as like that, and that's what I like. Yeah, openness.
That's a good way of mentioning it. Exactly. I think a lot of people, like normies or people from TradFi space or whatever, might think of decentralization just to be not dealing directly with a bank, like a normal bank as they know it, and they think that means it's decentralized. Whereas, it's totally not. So, Yes, very interesting stuff. And like you said, it's a spectrum, and some people like being on different parts of that. So
and there's different definitions of it. You know, like as I said earlier, it isn't just simply the number of nodes, because if all the nodes are under one entity, and a huge percentage in Ethereum are on AWS cloud services, well, there's a central point of failure right there, right? So
that's right. Yep. That's a worry in itself. And I know a lot of people have PulseChain validators on cloud servers, but that wouldn't be. Well, I'm hoping. So I don't know the numbers at all.
You want some on the cloud.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you get a spread of infrastructure then, right?
Definitely.
You get people with their home machines, and then you get people with big industrial level quality.
Yeah, it's great.
So the more devices and things it's installed on, the better.
Definitely. But being majority on something like that is a bit risky as well. So I'd like to know the numbers. Someone like David Feeder would know, because I know he helps host those. You know, if it's half the amount of that 40,000 or more or less, it'd be interesting.
I don't know. You would have to be, I don't know how many, because you have to pay for infrastructure, right? You have to pay for Amazon Cloud.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's expensive. It gets very expensive very quick. So you must be making money on it back. I remember early on in PulseChain's history, Richard Hart tweeted his expenses on AWS, and they were through the roof, dude. And this was before anyone made any money.
I remember that. There was.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So they must be making money. If they are on AWS, they must be in profit.
And in the future, in future, once the dollar value changes, they should be massively in profit as well. So
there you go. That's probably the appreciation, especially if they're hoarding and they're not. They can lose the upfront.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if there was an issue with huge amounts of money. What would happen on PulseChain, and what Richard would do if something like that went wrong. I was about to bring up the PDI thing, and then Hans jumped in and said, "Hello, sell pressure." So I thought that was pretty good. Once again, I was going to open the show with that, but I forget every time. But yeah, you know, I like how that was handled, the PDI thing, because he sort of sat quiet for a while and then mentioned a few things. And as far as we know, you know, he didn't actually step in and help run those functions and stuff like that. You know, that was done by the community. And he didn't take huge measures like, you know, trying to roll back chains or fork. You know, you can't do that anyway, but fork it or something, which some people were suggesting. So he just sat there, waited it out, you know, and we got rid of that issue in the end. So it does worry me, these big VC chains being able to do these sort of things. Same with Solana being down and all that. Hey Ross, one thing you mentioned about SUI and like the, you know, some transactions not needing to make full consensus or whatever. That's something Dozer and I've mentioned about Phantom Wallet. So it's like when you go on there, it is so fast, and even swapping from like Ethereum to Phantom, or like, you know, whatever you're changing on Ethereum to Phantom, Ethereum to Solana, or vice versa, it's like instant and it's done. And we were wondering if that is actually a legit transaction, or if something's happening in the back end, you know, with those, and just, you know, having, somehow making it happen on the screen, and just making changes happen elsewhere at a later time or whatnot, just because of how fast it is. It just seems like it, you know, it couldn't be. So if you ever get the chance to play with the Phantom wallet, something just doesn't add up with that, how quick it is. Either that or the tech is just that good.
I mean, look, in general, it's hard to say because I haven't looked into Phantom Wallet deeply, but I'll have a look into it. But generally, with almost all blockchains, you know, this concept of the trilemma, you know, you've got scalability, decentralization, security. And generally, if you increase scalability dramatically, you sacrifice one of the others, right? This is a known
decentralization.
problem.
Scenario here.
trilemma.
Because you can run an Ethereum node off your machine and be a proof of authority, right? Which it means you're running a machine and someone can connect to it, and it's your own private blockchain. And if people come along and use it, then it is. But it's so fast because you've got no transactions on that. I mean,
yeah,
it's different with Solana. But the way they get their speed back is by sacrificing decentralization, as far as I understand.
Exactly. And this is actually a problem that almost, in my opinion, with all my research, that next to no blockchain has truly solved the trilemma. There's claims, Casper claim they've solved it and blah, 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 blah. Well, they might have solved it on testnet, but I need to see it on mainnet, right? Because they might have simulated scale on testnet to be, tens of thousands of transactions per second. But until we really see it on mainnet with really high adoption, you can't really be sure, right? Because live production systems and testnets, I mean, I worked in IT for 15 years as a software developer, and, you can simulate things on test environments. You get into a production environment, it falls over within the first day, testnets are great. There's a lot of things they add value for, and it's better than not testing. Of course, you want to simulate as much as you can to give you confidence, but they're not exactly the same. And so from what I've seen, no blockchain has truly solved the trilemma on mainnet, right? I haven't seen evidence of that. And already, like with Solana, you see, huge scalability, or there's debate even on that one, because 85% of their transactions are consensus votes for a start, and I hear reports of huge amounts of failed transactions as well. But that aside, they've had security issues, right? So it'll be interesting to see if a blockchain ever truly solves it in production with no trade-off. It's a tough problem to solve.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting what happens over time.
The way blockchains work as well, it'll have to be a new blockchain, basically. I think if something were to solve it holistically, you'd have to start from fresh.
Yeah,
the legacy history. You can't port to it.
I think the closest one to solving
you could,
it
kind of with Ethereum and PulseChain, but
I think the closest one to solving it at the moment, although they don't have huge adoption, is Sato, because Sato does it very differently. They actually solve the trilemma economically, not just technologically. So they actually have an economic incentive mechanism set up so that they even reward full nodes and client nodes for routing transactions. So it isn't just security that's paid for.
That's clever.
Almost every blockchain, who gets the rewards? The miners and the validators for security. There are no financial rewards to full nodes or client nodes for decentralization.
I've thought about that
scalability.
Before.
Yeah. So this
especially
is the problem.
Bitcoin.
So, exactly. All the budget is in security. There's no budget for anything else, right? So, okay, that's good. That's a start. No, you don't hear of blockchains getting hacked every day and losing funds every day, right? More often than not, they're pretty secure. But they're all struggling with decentralization and scalability because it's not paid for. There's no incentive.
And it's a massive data structure. It's a big data structure.
It's a big,
you have to decentralize and put at many locations around the world.
Yeah.
And so it's a hard problem. It's a hard problem.
But by rewarding full nodes and client nodes, you're incentivizing people to run their own node and not push it to the cloud. A lot of people, they don't want to run their own full node because it's too expensive. You've got to upgrade hardware and push it to the cloud. Let Amazon, AWS, they can do
with
the heavy
validators
lifting.
too. There's an obligation to be true.
Yeah.
And not go down. So there's that as well.
Sure. Yeah, it's a mixture of things, but yeah, it's a very interesting problem. Yeah.
Yep. Going to be good to see what happens, but Sato, definitely my ears prick up when you talk a bit more about that. And yeah, I think everyone should have a look at it. And, the price, if it does take off, right now is probably not a bad price to be DCAing into every now and then.
But we know that tech rarely very well correlates to price.
No, that's exactly
it
right.
It could go crazy. I'm not saying anything, but
that's it. And
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, like if tech was the leveraging factor, Solana wouldn't be where it is.
Yeah,
no, that's right. Yeah,
I think you're absolutely right, Base Reddit. I think it's an interesting one because we've been spoilt a little bit in crypto by, having very large possible returns with certain projects in a very short time frame. But if you look at the traditional tech space before crypto, right? If you look at Apple, right? Apple's share price was flat at around 50 cents from 1988 to 2004. It did nothing for 16 years, right? And then bang. Now, I'm not necessarily saying people should wait 16 years, but you look at all those kind of companies.
Those 16 years were a great time to buy.
They were flat for a long time.
That's it. Even Bitcoin at the beginning,
yeah.
People, that was a tech that didn't have no one had the foresight at that stage. So
it can take decades to build good foundational tech, right? It can take, and especially blockchains, foundational tech. It can take a long time. Now you can create a meme coin and it can pump and dump, and go up within, a few days or a few weeks, right? But actually foundational tech, it takes time. And I've mentioned this before. If you look at the top 100 by market cap, 80% in the top 100 by market cap are layer one blockchains. And Richard Hart mentioned this before. He said, I think PulseChain could do a 10,000x at least, because if you look at the history of other layer one blockchains, like Ethereum did a 14,000x and BNB and called BSC now. If you look at all of those, look at the gains they did, and 80 to 90% in the top 100 are all layer ones. And I don't think that's an accident.
That's it, yeah. And even once that foundation's done and the tech is built and stuff, then it needs adoption too. And that all takes time as well. So
takes time. Yeah.
It can be a long way away. 43's jumped in. Hey man, thanks for jumping in the chat there. We'll catch up with you soon. And DJ Cryptomatic, thanks for jumping on, man. We showed a clip from your stream earlier with Finbear, giving some funnies about RH Max, and love the stream today. There's actually in the intro this morning, there's a bit where a kid says, "What the hex?" And that's actually my son when we were streaming. He came in and he said that to DJ and Papa Bona. Oh no, I showed them I actually played the audio clip because he was saying it over and over, and I recorded it and played it for him. So he's put that on the stream now, which is pretty cool. Just to change it up quickly, and I've got to wrap it up in a sec, but Mayo's just put through this this post by Nuclear Herbs, which is pretty cool. A bill just being introduced called the Clarity Act, and it's talking about self-custody and protection of self-custody. So this is pretty cool, saying that, you have self-custody and an individual shall retain the right to maintain a hardware wallet, engage in direct peer-to-peer transactions with digital assets, and such other individual or entity is not a financial institution. So that's awesome. Very interesting stuff.
Is that federal or is it a state?
Financial, where are we?
I think that's federal US, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, financial services in the US.
Looks like we're all moving to the US, boys.
That's exactly right. I'll put that in the chat. It's Nuclear Herbs. You can look him up if you don't want to click the link. But yeah, he's always putting good stuff out. That's some pretty cool news.
Yeah.
It's a good one to follow in regards to legal activities.
Yeah, Nuclear Herbs is good like that.
He's been amazing with the whole that whole case, and reporting back to us. And let's just hope for this Interpol thing to be over soon. Looking forward to that. Some good news. And looking forward to ETH breaking out above its price at the moment, and I think things will be much nicer when that happens. So yes, so I'm going to wrap it up in a minute. But does anyone have anything else they want to say before we go?
Pretty good.
Keep on keeping on.
exactly. No, hope for some positive things in the price. But as Hans said, we've got so much opportunity
bargain prices
in the prices. Like it still actually is, in my opinion. But I know people are sick of hearing that. But if you got your head screwed on and you know when the right time to buy is, rather than the right time to sell or whatnot, you'd probably be making some kind of move at the moment. But yeah. All the best for everyone this week, and thanks for everyone in the chat jumping in and people on the replay gang. But yeah, thanks Base Radian for being here, Mayo and Ross.
Worries.
Always good to see you guys.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. And we'll see you again soon.
Weekend, mate.
Yep. Take it easy, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. And I've got to end the stream. Here we go. See you.
That'll be good.